Hi folks, Jason Webster, lead commercial agronomist for Precision Planting. Welcome to this episode of InsidePTI. Today we're going to talk about high-speed planting technology. You know, some spring planting seasons have weather challenges that don't let us plant all of our acres in that ideal planting window. It's happened quite frequently. At Precision Planting, we developed SpeedTube, high-speed planting technology that allows growers to cover more acres when conditions are fit. SpeedTube delivers seeds from the meter to the furrow with consistent spacing no matter what your speed, so that you can potentially double your planting speed without sacrificing performance. Now it comes down to this. I mean, after planting, we're all looking for that beautiful picket fence stand of corn. And in my mind, it shouldn't matter whether you planted it at slower speeds or higher speeds. The end result should be this beautiful, evenly spaced picket fence stand of corn. Again, we're doing this. We're planting faster using SpeedTube, high-speed planting technology, to say, you know what, we're going to plant faster. We're going to plant maybe twice as what we've been used to with our planting speeds, and we're gonna have a meter sitting above this SpeedTube, and this SpeedTube is going to take the seed from the meter, and these fingers are going to grab that seed and place it on this belt, and this belt is going to hand deliver the seed all the way to the furrow. So as you speed up or slow down, we've got an electric motor here that will adjust to your planting speed, and we will hand deliver this seed all the way down into the trench. Some of you may say, well, if you plant faster, you may get more vibration on the row unit. With a traditional seed tube, before we had SpeedTube high-speed technology, you planted fast, you get a row unit bounce, that seed would ricochet in that seed tube, and it would cause some problems with singulation or spacing. We don't have to worry about that with SpeedTube because of the hand delivery from the belt all the way to the furrow. That's how SpeedTube works on the planter row unit. Now, I think it's been interesting as we've been traveling around the country doing agronomy meetings with growers. We polled them and said, what is, in your mind, your perfect planting speed? And really the question is designed at, what do you think the planting speed that you're using on the farm will do the best job for you? 6% of growers say less than 5 miles an hour. 33%, a third of the group, saying 5 to 6 miles an hour. 28%, 6 to 7. We fall down to 6% in that 7 to 8 category, and then we ramp all the way back up to 28% for the growers that are saying over 8 miles an hour. And if you look at this data, you can tell the growers that have high-speed technology, they're the ones that are over 8 miles an hour. But traditionally, there's some growers that really felt that the only way they could do a good job of planting is if they planted slower. And yes, that was the case years ago, decades ago. But now we've got technology, high-speed planting technology, where we can plant faster without sacrificing performance. To prove this, we've looked at yield data. We put trials in, we put protocols in at the PTI Farm. From 2018 to 2024, we planted at 4, 6, 8, and 10 mile an hour planting corn, and there's just been very little yield difference from those planting speeds. Matter of fact, there's only been a 2.1 bushel difference from the slowest speed to the highest speed. What does this mean? Well, it means with SpeedTube, high-speed planting technology, you can plant faster, and you don't have to worry about yield falling off. It's been very, very consistent. Now, in the past, before SpeedTube, all of us ran seed tubes, okay? And this is just a gravity, using gravity to drop that seed at the top of the seed tube all the way down to the bottom. We talked about this earlier. If you have planter bounce, you can get some ricochet in the seed tube. We've tried to do high-speed planting with SpeedTube, and it kind of simulates you as a grower. You got seed tubes on your planter, and you're trying to get done planting the field, and all of a sudden the black clouds come rolling in, and it's going to rain. And you say, well, let's hurry up and get this field done. Let's throttle up. Let's plant faster to get this field done. Well, we've done that with SpeedTube, and we've run into some real problems. Matter of fact, this past year in 2024, where we did that, we took 5 mile an hour planting speeds, ramped it up to 10 mile an hour with traditional seed tubes. We lost 11.5 bushel of corn, times the price of corn. That was nearly a $50 loss on a per acre basis. However, We use that same 5 mile an hour, ramp it up to 10 mile an hour using SpeedTube. There was only a difference of 0.7 bushel to the acre and a $3 difference on a per acre basis. So it shows the differences of planting fast with and without high-speed planting technology. Some years, it's cost us a lot of money, there's no doubt. We test this every single year. Here's a year where it came in number 6 on our top 10 losers. And so again, if we don't have the right technology, it's going to be very difficult to plant faster without expecting some yield or economic losses. What about soybeans? We've spent most of our time here today talking about corn. We do use high-speed technology when we're planting soybeans. You know, it's interesting when we go from 5 to 10 mile an hour with the SpeedTube and soybeans. From 2022 to 2024, there has been 0 yield difference. Our beans are averaging 72.9 bushel as far as an average in our testing process. Again, using SpeedTube, going from 5 to 10 mile an hour. But if we take SpeedTube off and put those traditional seed tubes on, yields falling off by a bushel to the acre. Now, one of the things to consider before you make the purchase to go to high-speed planting technology, we really think that you need to have hydraulic downforce on your planter. Now, why do I say this? Well, as you try to drive faster, that planter is going to want to naturally come up. And so that's why we need hydraulic downforce to keep that ground contact. If you want to plant corn at 2 inches in depth, we got to have enough weight on that row unit, on those gauge wheels, to get that planting depth where you want it. If you don't have that, the planter starts rising up, your planting depth is going to shallow up along with it. Some folks will say, well, I've got an airbag system. I got a pneumatic downforce system on my planter. We don't feel that those are fast enough. As you plant faster and get more acres done, that pneumatic air system is not going to be able to keep up. They're going to be too slow. Deltaforce on our planters, our precision planting technology does a great job of reading quickly in the field, knowing so it can react as fast as possible to make some of the changes in the field. Lastly, horsepower is going to be something to think about. The worst possible thing you could do on your farm is invest in high-speed planting technology, and you try to get your planter tractor to drive 10 mile an hour, and you don't have enough ponies to do it. So just keep in mind that you're going to have to have a big enough tractor to get some of the high speeds that you're trying to get to. You know, it all comes down to when do you want to plant and go after this thing and get a lot of acres done. With corn, over the period of time we've been at the PTI Farm in Pontiac, Illinois, our best planting date in corn has been the 3rd week of April. If we get conditions that are right in that time frame, we want to go and we want to get as many acres done as possible. SpeedTube allows us to wait for soils to get fit and then go in and plant acres quickly. Same with soybeans. We know there's a window. Our highest yield window in soybeans has been the 2nd week of April. Normally that's a time period where it's a very small window. Usually we have cold conditions, sometimes wet conditions, but when we can get in and go after to try to extend the growing season in soybeans to maximize yield, we're going to have to get in and plant timely and get those acres covered quickly. High-speed planting technology allows us to do that.